All right. I'm here with David Weiss, the flat earther. No, I love doing shows with you, Dave. Man, listen.
Dave, let me interrupt. With all the stuff going on in the world, why are you having a flat earther on again? Okay. The world is insane, and you're talking about flat earth, right?
Because it's intriguing, and I think the bullshit starts with NASA.
David, it's more than intriguing. The truth is, and listen, I was just asked yesterday, I get asked all the time, but I gave a different answer yesterday. How did I get into flat earth? And I said, imagine a young child being grabbed by the ankle, pulled into a pit of alligators that are hungry. That's how I entered flat earth. I didn't want to look. I didn't want to go. I refused. I kicked and I screamed, but then I went in and I looked, and everything changes. With all the insanity that's going on in the world, people, the way they're getting away with this is we're lost in space, spinning out of control, and the programming, the mind control that the television and the indoctrination camps have given us make us refuse to look. But when you look, then all of a sudden you can see, if you're not too fluoridated and urinated.
Yeah. I agree with you. Listen, I always say from my audience to people, the jury's out with me, but I know the truth is we're not being told the truth. That's the truth. We're not being told the truth.
And here's the truth. Saying the earth is flat, first there's hills and valleys. We get that, Mount Everest, the ocean depths, everything. It's a flat plane. Everything works like that. The one thing we could say for sure is it's not a spinning ball flying through an infinite space vacuum inside an infinite godless or distant God space vacuum. The people, and I use that term people loosely, that are running this place or trying to run it, that have control over us, that we are submitting our free will to, they're Satanists. They are. That's nice. I'm being nice.
Agree 100% there.
Yeah. They're Satanists, and this helio nonsensical BS model, it's a helio sinister trick. Okay. And it's the soul lure system. They're literally trying to steal God from us. Okay. And for me, David Weiss, the former atheist, to say that means a lot.
Yeah, I know. And I've realized that a lot of flat earthers were prior. They were atheists. I've known a few actually, and now they have found a renewed belief in God because they're like, hey, if this is what we believe, then there has to be a supreme being. There has to be a God.
There is a creator. I love using the word creator because it doesn't separate anybody. It works for everybody. There is a creator, and then your journey, between your relationship with the creator is your own personal journey. Other people could say, hey, this is my journey. Hey, what about this? That's fine. But nobody can force it upon you. So I love bringing people to the realization that there's a creator. And then I say, good luck. See you. Right. You're on your own. Figure it out. And right. That's what we're here for. We're here to, experience this world and expand the mind of the creator. I believe we're all part of the creator. Like our soul is this is very important. Our soul is the currency of this system, right? And the evil ones, they want our souls. They literally want our souls, but they can't take it from us. They have to get us to give it to them.
This is the first step right here.
Yeah.
They're controlling this. Now they take this, your soul.
Yeah. And it goes, that is definitely part of it. But that's the currency. They control us with the television programming. They control us with censorship now. They control us with the school memorize, regurgitate camps. Okay, memorize, regurgitate. Oh, you're really good at that. You could become a teacher. And you know what? You're a really good teacher. You become a professor. Okay, hey, and you know what? All of us other professors are going to read your paper and go, yeah, we all agree. We all agree with the nonsense that we all were memorize and regurgitate. So we're going to say it's now peer reviewed, and anything that doesn't get peer reviewed doesn't count. This is upside down insanity world. Okay. So Dave, I was watching your stream earlier, and you know what? It seemed like I was watching you, and you were especially at the beginning, it looked like you thought you were here. Spinning, corkscrewing through the infinite
Depends universe. On the day.
You were spinning out of control. I mean, it was wonderful to watch.
Which one, yesterday or today?
Today.
I was all fucked up.
Just an hour ago. But this is what they want. like if the foundation of your world belief, even if you're not thinking about it, if the foundation of your world belief is this, spinning at 1,000 miles an hour, orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour, chasing the sun at 500,000 miles an hour, while that system moves sideways at over 1,000,000 miles per hour, you're off kilter. You know, you're not grounded. You're not where you need to be. And the truth of the matter is that we are at the center of creation, that we are on a God-built foundation that does not move, that all of the luminaries are here within the Earth system. We're part of the Earth system, and we're in a very, very safe place of abundance. They don't want you to know that. They don't want you to know the power of your mind that creates your world. The universe, the one verse, right? It conspires to give you everything you're thinking. So if you're thinking good things and bad things, it's going to conspire to give you both of them. Okay.
Right.
It does. They don't want you to know the magic of this world, the power of your mind. They don't want you to know that you are a creator. Everything you have in your life, David, is because of the way you think. Look, you went from your boxing, you made it up through boxing because of your intent, your thought, and your beliefs and your emotions. And now you left that and you're doing this, and you've created this, you know, you got an awesome following, and what you're doing. I mean, we're here experiencing this ride in this crazy world, and you know, I believe we all agreed to be here. We're here, the creator put us here. We're the creator, whatever, however you want to look at it. We're here experiencing this now, and we can make it what we want. Imagine this, Dave. You get 9 billion views, which means some people watch this twice. Everyone in the world watch this stream. And tomorrow they go, you know what? Those Daves, they got some points. You know what? We're no longer going to believe in the elite. We're no longer going to accept their mandates.
And Dave, and that's why I have you on here. And I don't. People don't need to believe in the flat Earth. They just have to question, open their mind up, and say, hey. There's something wrong with this picture here. That's why I believe you're such an important guest. I'm not saying take it hook, line, and sinker, but leave your mind open. But I will say this: talking to you opens Pandora's box. I mean,
I tell people, don't believe anything I say. Go verify it, and I give you ways to verify it, right? But you know, we're going to get into NASA and SpaceX and those.
I really want to talk about the space race.
Yeah, we're going to get into that in just a second. But if I can remember, my point was the only control they have over us is in your imagination. If everyone watched this tomorrow and go, they're going to, the Daves are right, and I'm no longer going to pay attention to the government, well, no one even would know who the government is. So they're nothing. They're less than the 1%. They're the no percent. Right. And we only do, like, if you do what they say, well, you're just giving it away. You don't have to. Like, I went to lunch with an old buddy that I worked with yesterday. He put a mask on as we walked in the door, and I friggin' yelled at him, called him every bad word in the book.
Oh, good for you.
Yeah, and I told him if he ever puts that on again in my presence, I'm going to kick him, you know, like a chick.
Yeah, no, it really, you know, you're making a statement about being a sheep. 100%. That your mind is controlled.
Yeah,
that's what it means to me when I see somebody doing that.
So, Dave, they control us with all of that. And then they've got us in a prison for our minds, right? A prison for our minds, which is the globe. You know, remember the True Man show? The True Man show?
Yeah.
And he goes, I want to be an explorer. And the teacher goes, oh, there's nothing left to explore, Truman. You know, it's all been explored. Well, we live in the bigger, in that, you know, they don't want us to know that maybe there's more land beyond Antarctica. This is the ring of Antarctica. Maybe there's extra territory out there, more land. Okay. Who knows? Because no one's allowed out there. But the other way they control us is with their fake money. So we'll get into NASA. NASA gets $64 million.
Could I ask you something?
Go ahead.
That map you have back there with the I see Antarctica, the ring of Antarctica, and then I see landmass after that. That's just all. That's not from a source of yours that's saying. That's just all hypothetical. We're just creating bullshit.
We don't know, but here's a map from 10 centuries ago, a Japanese map showing about 30 continents outside of our known world.
No way.
Right? There's tons of information. Yeah, this is a 10 centuries old map. And there's all sorts of stories and stuff about that. This is stuff that needs to be investigated. Let me just finish about the money, right? They control us with money, right? Dave, you need money to operate in this world, right? In the way the world is right now, we need money. And unfortunately, we're playing with their money. They're the bankers. They're the monopoly money holders, right? The money has zero use other than starting a fire, maybe, I don't know, whatever you do with $1, except the fact that if I gave you $10, someone will give you a sandwich for that $10, right? So people are willing to trade on trust. It has no value other than the perceived value. So if we keep playing in their banking system, they win. If we keep playing on a globe spinning out of control, lost in space, they have the upper hand because they know the truth of this world. Okay. So just for the people that think, you get a lot of listeners, Dave, people that think I'm crazy, I'm offering 3 Bitcoins. It's $120,000, more than $120,000 for one proof of the globe. And you're not going to get it because there are no proofs of the globe, but you can try. And if you try honestly, you'll end up like me, a flat earther. Dave, I had what I thought was the American dream, and it was really good. I went to college, corporate America, started my own company, doing really well, making more money than I ever thought I could make. I got it all. I was happy. I was happy, and then something said, hey, Dave, walk away from this all because none of it's going to matter. As this takeover happens, it doesn't matter. And so I'm out here trying to wake people up like you and your audience, and I've done other big audiences. High Impact Flicks, his audience is waking up. All of Owen Benjamin, his entire audience is woken up. Mel Fabregas from Veritas Radio. I'm on all these other shows. I was on InfoWars. I woke up half their office and a whole bunch of their audience. So this is the key to our freedom. Getting out of their banking system, and I believe privacy coins, cryptocurrency, not Bitcoin, is the solution. And just realizing who you are and saying no, unplugging from the matrix. Last thing, and then we'll get into NASA, is the analogy that I use is Neo in the Matrix. Neo at the beginning is plugged into the Matrix. He's depressed. His soul can't talk to his brain because his brain is plugged into the Matrix, which is the television. And at the end of the movie, he reclaims who he is. He finds out the truth of the world. And look at the Neo at the end scene and Neo at the beginning scene. 2 different people. That's what happens when you see flat Earth. You wake up to the reality. You start seeing it all, and you take your power back. And it's easy. People go, well, I can't, I'm just one person. That's all you need to be is one person. You don't need to be 2 people. No, I do not consent. And that changes everything.
I love it. Let's get rolling. Let's do this.
So the other day, they shot a giant penis into the sky. A giant dick shot up into the sky. And did you also notice that the rocket ship was shaped like a dick also?
Yeah.
Come on. Thank you. You're the first one that got my joke. So this is what they showed us for Jeff's launch. Look at this. And look at
what a cock.
Camera. Look at the shaky camera. What's going on here? All right. They love their sexual innuendos. All right. What's
the God, dude. I cannot not unsee that now.
I know. This is what they show us. They love, on their their images of Earth, they always write like sex in the clouds. They do they're childish. They love their sex magic. And this is, I don't know, this is a form of sex magic. Do you know what the 0G plane is, right?
No.
Zero G flight is when an airplane
that what the astronauts supposedly practice on.
Yeah, you get 25 to 40 seconds of weightlessness. So this is just a 0G flight. It's not even the plane he did. This is just one of those planes outfitted to look like that. He looks like he's about to throw up. This is P-Brain. This is his video. This is what the 0G plane does, and you get this weightlessness. They didn't go into space. Even, every time we expose one of their lies, Neil deGrasse Tyson, the high priest of scientism,
right?
He moves the globe post, and he moved it again. He came out on some talk show and he said, yeah, they didn't really go into space. They just went up really high and they got 0G. He admitted it because we nailed them. This is just a 0G plane. But that's all that's happening here. And if you look at their imagery, I mean, the Earth is convex and then it's concave and then it's flat. You're seeing that you're looking through a fisheye lens.
So when we see the curvature of the Earth, that's always a fisheye lens?
Absolutely.
When they're up there.
The Earth is completely flat, and they can't get it straight. They say at the space station you can't see the curve, and then you can see the curve, and they're always showing us the curve. They usually don't even comment on what you're seeing. They just let you see it, and it sets in your subconscious. I don't know, anyone that has Apple TV, you'll notice that the screensavers are all just Earth from space, and it's just all complete and total nonsense. But everyone's like, what about the Red Bull jump, right? And he said, I saw the curve. One, he's wearing a curved glass. So even on the ground, it would look curved. So maybe he thought he saw a curve, or maybe he was part of just the scam to tell us. But if you look at the land features here, he launched from New Mexico, this river. There's more rivers over here. And a careful analysis of this is all New Mexico. When did New Mexico become a quarter of the Earth?
So you're saying that whole landmass there is all of New Mexico?
It's all New Mexico, planet New Mexico. This is all New Mexico, Dave.
And if he was, oh my, that's a legit photo, dude. That's a legit photo.
This is from them. Here's the thing. All of their photos. And here's the thing. We have videos on it too. When he got into the capsule on the ground, there's a camera behind his head that's looking straight out. It was not a fisheye lens, and you could see the runway and you could see the horizon in the distance. Okay, perfect, right? Then when he opened up the door at 127,000 feet, the horizon was at the same level as it was on the land. And then they quickly cut to this camera, and you see this. There was 2 launches they did before this without GoPro cameras, not fisheye lenses, and everything was flat. But when they did the one they televised, they used GoPro cameras. And as the camera moves, as the horizon moves through the frame, when it goes down, it comes convex or concave, and then it comes convex at the top. You watch these things and you'll watch the horizon changing. Unless you think the Earth is flexing, you're being fooled. And here's the other thing, Dave. Picture this. Do you know how fast the Earth is spinning? About 1,000 miles an hour. So when he launched up, he was up for 3.5 hours. The Earth.
So then when he came down, he'd be in a totally different spot.
Well, it's spinning to the east, so he should land out to the west. He should land 3,000 miles out to the ocean.
So the Earth should be out. Right.
Yeah, it should be moving 1,000 miles an hour below him. He landed east of where he took off. So if this is the Earth, it's turning. He took off and outran the Earth and landed in front of where he took off.
Oh my gosh.
So Dave, so picture this. We're spinning at 1,000 miles an hour and we're orbiting at 66,000 miles an hour. Do you know how fast this is? Watch this. This is a hypersonic sled, Mach 8.6. Ready? Watch carefully. Yeah. Did you see it?
Yes.
I'll show you again.
Yeah.
How fast is
that? What is that?
Mach 8.6 times 700, just about that. The Earth is orbiting the sun 10 times faster than this. Okay? It's chasing the sun 90 times faster than this. Can you even fathom that? And all of this orbit is an elliptical orbit. It's going around the sun in another elliptical orbit. It's speeding up and slowing down at these hypersonic speeds, but somehow we have lakes that are perfectly glass. Dave, take a dinner plate in a car, if you're on a perfectly smooth road going 100 miles an hour, and fill it with water. All right, you're pretty good, And now let the car start taking the slightest turn. That water.
Well, wouldn't that be where gravity comes in and sticks all this together like the glue?
Gravity. So first, gravity is a theory. That's the theory of gravity. NASA says this. This is what NASA says, right? I'd love to be a baller. Well, space is mostly filled with dark matter and dark energy, because 96% of it is dark matter and dark energy that we've never seen or measured, but it has to be there or gravity doesn't work. Therefore, it's there. That's what they say. Dave, it doesn't work like that. Buoyancy and density sort everything else out. The Earth has a measurable negative charge. The dome, the firmament, whatever that is above us, has a positive charge. As you lift off the ground, there's voltage in the air, free voltage. Tesla proved it, and you could prove it today. There's voltage in the air. And the Earth, since it's not moving, it says, hey, down is this way. It has that negative charge. It just attracts things lightly. And then buoyancy and density sort everything else out. If I had a helium balloon, rocks, and a bunch of ping pong balls in my hands, and I dropped them over a body of water, the helium balloon's going to go up because it's less dense than the air. The air is pushing down and giving it upward thrust. The rocks and the ping pong balls are going to fall through the air because they're more dense. The rocks are going to sink to the bottom of the water, and the ping pong balls are going to stay on the top. Buoyancy and density sort everything else out. Up is up for you. Down is down for you and me and everybody. Down is not up for people in Australia, or up is not down. Right. Up is up, down is down. Left and right, forward and backwards. That's all due to wherever you're standing.
Correct. Now, let me ask you this. Would you say that we're living in a biodome? Because I know that astronauts have only been they've only been to how high have they been? They've only
They
been.
haven't been anywhere. No astronaut has ever been launched
But
in
where's the
a
space?
rocket.
Okay, so the space station. There's no space station.
Well, so you tell me if this is a space station. I'm going to show you
I
something.
know it's like lower Earth orbit is as far as they go,
miles
right?
up. 250 miles up is the space station. Okay. So would you say the space station is probably one of the most modern marvels of construction? And
sure.
Right. So this thing was built, right? Different countries built different parts. As a matter of fact, so different that the connectors, they use different portals, right? Like the hatch door in this one is different than the hatch door in this one. So they had to make an adapter. Okay. So one country made this one country made the other, and then they had to create an adapter to make it fit. Okay. Never was it assembled on Earth once. Never once did they test it on Earth. They just sent everything to space. They put it together, and they forgot to take any videos or photos of the construction. It just showed up in space. Okay. It's a total joke. All of the important mechanicals are on the outside. Think about a submarine. Is anything on the outside? It's all on the inside.
Right.
But in space, everything's on the outside, so they can do the spacewalks and make you make you believe in that. Did you know that China just built a space station and they just manned it like last month? They also forgot to take any pictures or videos of it being constructed.
Yeah.
Here's the thing.
It's just a lot. It's just
Dave, it's a lot, and we've been trained not to look at it. We've been trained to laugh at,
So what about satellites?
The ridiculous idea of satellites. So when I was a kid, we had the Loran system, which is a tower-based grid system. And you look on your graphics and it gives you, an 8-point decimal number and two numbers. And you look on the map, you go, oh, I'm right here. And it was ground-based. And then all of a sudden, they're like, oh, we have satellites. And they literally, it worked in the same places. They just put a graphic overlay from high-altitude shots. Okay? These guys are hanging from wires. It's clearer than day. So GPS, if we look at what satellites are, they tell us, satellites aren't floating in space. They're just falling around the curve. Whatever height they are and speed they're going, it matches the curve of the Earth. So if a satellite drops, a mile in a minute, it's already gone forward enough where the curvature dropped a mile. So it's theoretically just falling endlessly. So imagine this satellite is a geostationary satellite.
Okay.
You know what geostationary is? It's the one that stays over the same point of land. That's so they can tell us. Okay. So you have to remember that the Earth is spinning and corkscrewing through space in 4 different directions at once, speeding up, slowing down. And somehow that satellite is matching the spin at that hypersonic speed. Remember that. It's following the Earth. It's moving sideways with the Earth, and somehow it just magically stays over the same point of land. Dave, when you look at satellites there, it's complete and total joke. They even admit 95, 99% of all the communications on Earth are done through undersea cables.
Right.
Undersea cables. Right?
I know
and you
that
look it
part.
up, Yeah. And then when you actually look at the undersea cables, there's none going from like Chile to Australia. They go all the way up into the north, just like the plane routes do, and it makes absolutely no sense. Dave, this is important because if you're spinning out of control, lost in space, that's not respecting this creation. This creation was created by the Creator for us. We are at the center of creation. And there's a verse in the Bible, and I'm not the Bible guy. My co-host is the Bible guy, but I like the verse. And basically it says, once you see my creation, you can no longer deny my existence. Okay? Because that's true. That was me. Full on, I don't believe it. I believe we evolved from pond scum because I never really thought it through. You know what? Evolution. Think about evolution. What's more incredible, that this Earth, that the way it is, and that we evolved from pond scum, or a tornado goes through a junkyard in New York City and builds a brand new MacBook Pro in the beautiful box and gift wraps it.
I agree with you. And I mean, even Darwinism, all that was the beginning of all this. It was all high level Masons, right?
Yes.
Kind of like taking us every step of the way. We evolved from pond scum to apes, and then so on and so forth. But yet there's still apes running around. It's just none of it makes any sense. I used to take that. I was taught in school. Everything I believed was taught to me in school, from dinosaurs to evolution, etc. What's your thoughts on dinosaurs? I mean, there are dinosaur bones.
There are dinosaur bones, Dave. Are there?
I don't know. I'm asking you. I go to the museum, I see them. I don't know.
No, the museum will admit that those are plaster replicas. They're all made in China out of chicken bones and glue. They say that the
I've seen dinosaur tracks. I will say that
there have been giant lizards. There was giant animals or giant people, all sorts of stuff. But the timeline that they're giving us it's very, very recent.
So you're gonna say that the Earth is what, 6,000 years old, 5,000? So
I don't know how old the Earth is, but it ain't billions and millions and trillions of years old like they tell us.
I agree. I agree with you on that.
It's nonsense. But here, this will tell you about dinosaurs. Think about all the construction, from the pyramids to, all these other sacred structures. No one ever mentioned finding a dinosaur. But in the 1800s, some royal, Illuminati, whatever guy, he writes a paper theorizing about the idea of dinosaurs. And then a year later to the day, because they're mocking us, he discovers the first dinosaur bone. Okay,
but we've seen video of people. Finding dinosaur bones and recovering them out of the earth. I mean, I've seen it.
They're finding bones, like they find like a whale bone on top of a vertebrae bone on top of a mountain.
Yeah, but I'm talking about like T-Rex skulls.
No, they haven't found any skulls. No one's ever found a skull. Now, yes, there were giant reptiles and people and all sorts of things, but not like a Tyrannosaurus Rex. Go buy 2 Stegosaurus dolls and try to make them mate. Tell me how that worked. Okay. I mean, there's no chance. There's no
Holy shit. I've never really thought about that, man.
I know they
or even a T-Rex. How would a T-Rex fuck?
Yeah.
I mean, he can't how would he? Hold
on.
On. Wait a second. You just hold on.
Okay.
How the hell would a T-Rex do it?
Right. And talk to a structural engineer. These things could not walk.
How would a Stegosaurus do it?
Yeah.
How would a Brontosaurus do it? That's a good and valid point. Hold on. How the hell would it? You can't grip anything with your little arms. Like, how would he mount?
Yeah. Think about that for a while. It'll drive you crazy.
I'd pay to see it.
Hey, everybody's got their thing. Dave's into dino porn.
Dino porn coming at you live.
Dave, NASA, is here to deceive us. They don't. By the way, they don't get $64 million a day, because if they did, they'd have better CGI. I mean, they would do better. I mean, with zero CGI, I can fake space here so much easier. They're taking the money from us. It's about control. We're agreeing to give them that money, out of our hard-earned money. They extort it from us, and nobody has control over that. Here's proof that NASA is nonsense. Did I show you this last time?
No, I don't remember.
Werner von Braun, who is a Nazi scientist that was supposedly brought over here in Project Paperclip to run NASA. That's, factual story in history. I believe he's just an actor in Hollywood because there was no space race. He wrote a story in 1957 about a bunch of people going to Mars, run by a guy named Elon. This is Elon Musk's rocket that he plans on taking people to space in. To Mars. And he tweeted, I want to make it pointier. I want to redesign it and make it pointier. Okay. When again, mockery. Werner von Braun's gravestone, all it says is Psalms 19:1. The heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament showeth his handiwork.
Wait, what now?
This is Werner von Braun, the head of NASA. His gravestone has Psalms 19:1 talking about the firmament. Why would that be? That's his gravestone.
Wow. Right in your face.
Dave, they always stick it in our face. Here, hold on. I'm on the space station, right?
Yeah. Yeah, you got it.
It's pretty good, right?
That is pretty
good. I had
good.
some harnesses, and I can flip and get some balls, fill them with helium, get some CGI objects, move them around. That's what they do. That's what they do. But meanwhile, we think where everyone's like just looking up at space. Think about this. We want to go colonize Mars. It has 1% of the air that we have here, if that. It's deserted. There's no water. Why don't we just build a dome in Ethiopia, a gigantic one, and let people live there? It would be a lot easier. We have supply routes. We can get stuff there. The air is already there. We don't have to terraform it. Moving into fictional space is ridiculous. I mean, again, people are like, well, what about these other planets? There are no other planets, David.
I've been told that a lot of the Mars footage or whatever was done in the Nevada desert.
It wasn't done on Mars because Mars is just a luminary. When you take the world's best super zoom lenses, like that lens that you're selling, go look at Mars. Look at Mars. This is Mars. It's here within the Earth system. All of the wandering stars, which they renamed planets, are named after gods. What's going on with Mars? Okay. This is the star Sirius. Look at that. What does that look like? Does it look like a burning ball at a ridiculous distance? Dave, they tell us stars are so far away, even though we're moving over 4 billion miles a year, there's no parallax. Parallax is when things change orientation as you're going by. There's no parallax for centuries. That's ridiculous. There'd be parallax in a minute. Okay. But they tell us that the closest star, ignoring our sun, is 25 trillion miles away. So I say 25 trillion miles, your brain glazes over like, okay, trillion.
You don't even think about it. You go, okay, whatever, you accept it.
You don't think about it what it is, but let me tell you what it is. If you were traveling a mile a second, that's pretty fast. You've never gone that fast. A mile a second. In a trillion seconds, you would be 1 trillion miles, right?
Right.
How long is a trillion seconds in time? Do you know?
No.
You want to take a guess? If you guess it within a week, I'll give you a Bitcoin.
Fucking sure. I'll get it within a week.
So is a week?
I get a Bitcoin?
It's 31,000 years. So if you were traveling a mile a second.
I thought you said you're going to give me a Bitcoin if I guess.
I said if you were close. I said if we were close.
That's why I just answered what you said. All right, that's it. No Bitcoin.
You weren't close enough. Dave, think about this. If you're traveling a mile a second, in 31,000 years, you'll be 1/25th your way to the closest star. And the other ones are magnitudes farther. This is nonsense. This is scientifically provable that you can't see stars at that distance, no matter what their size. They would get too small to see. Our eyes have an angular resolution limit. Dave, without getting into all the details, we don't need to dive into all of this, but the understanding who you are, where you are, what you are, and the power that you have is the key to our freedom. Understanding that we can't play in their control system anymore. We have to play in our own. And guess what? We have the power to do it. Right? Dave, everyone's playing their part. You're playing your part in this. I watch your videos every day. You're showing us what's going on. You're helping people stay motivated, helping people stand up, helping people, be up for the rights. Like we just got invited to a free house on an island, a beautiful island out in Long Island, right? Fire Island, beautiful island, right? And I'm looking, and you got to take a ferry out there. And I looked at the restrictions on the ferry, like you can't get on without a mask. And I'm like,
yeah.
It's like, what am I going to do? Like, I may not go.
I can't do it. I can't fucking abide by this
get on
bullshit.
the ferry for, I don't know, 20 minutes, however long the ferry is,
Yeah. I'm with you, Dave. I'm right there with you.
Yeah.
So once you start, let it, you're giving them, starting obeying just a little bit, and you start doing just a little bit. That's what they want. Then it breaks you. And then before you know it, you're wearing this everywhere.
Dave, 100%. There's so much. If you want to learn the technical stuff, we touched on a few things. Just go watch my videos. I have tons and tons and tons of videos. They're all on my app. But you have to understand the importance of this topic. This is the topic they don't want you looking at. This is the number one thing they don't want you facing, because when you do, you wake up to everything else. You unplug from the matrix, because this one affects you. People in South Africa don't really care about the thing that happened in New York.
Hold on. I wanted to ask you something while we were on the stars and you were showing pictures of the orbs. So Australia, southern of the hemisphere, would see a whole different view of constellations, don't they?
They do.
Okay, so
Explain.
I would say that
no. You've been
Okay, go ahead.
brainwashed. You've been brainwashed.
No. I'm asking the question.
No, I'm telling you.
I'm asking what I think the audience would ask.
Yeah. So there's two things. One, the way they rotate, and I'll explain that. But imagine you and I are in a big empty room with 10-foot high ceilings, and we have recessed lighting. Those are the stars, and it's all random patterns, okay? And we both look up, we see the stars, okay? So now we're going to expand that room to the size of a city. Send it now 10 miles wide, okay? Just expand the room 10 miles wide. And I send you 5 miles that way, and maybe I go 3 miles that way. So we're like 8 miles apart. Do you know what happens to the ceiling and a floor in a long hotel in Vegas? They literally almost touch at the far end due to perspective. Okay. So I won't even be able to see you. Now, if I super zoom camera, I could open up that, make your angular size bigger, and I could see you. And when I say, all right, look up, you're going to see lights that I can't see, and I'm going to see lights that you can't see. Okay. But people go, the stars are rotating in counterclockwise or clockwise down there, and they're counterclockwise here. So here I am standing in the north, and the stars are rotating above me, and they're going from my right shoulder to my left shoulder. So we'll call that counterclockwise, whatever. They're just going from my right shoulder to my left shoulder. If I'm in Australia and I'm facing south instead of north, they're coming from my left shoulder to my right shoulder. They're coming in the same direction. All stars, moon, and sun, no matter what NASA tells you, they all rise in the east and set in the west. All of them. They all go in the same direction. It's just your perspective. One of the big ones that people talk about is, well, if the Earth was the model that you're saying, the sun would get smaller and fade away, right? It would get smaller, but it looks like it gets bigger. It really doesn't get bigger. It varies in size a little bit. Sometimes it gets smaller, but it's really an unfair thing to do. But it's all about perspective. So standing on the ground, watching this train go away, it gets smaller, right? So things as they go away get smaller. That's a fact. That's provable, testable, scientific, right? So the thing is, the sun isn't here on the ground. The sun's already removed away from you. So these are parallel.
How big are you saying the sun is in your estimation?
Hold on. Let me finish this because I can't stop it. These lines here they look like they're going down, but these are all parallel. This is just a wall. So when we see things due to perspective, they look like they're going down. So here's the sun, kind of like a semi-side view. And as it goes away, it looks like it's dropping. And from this person's point of view, it looks like it's just going down. Okay. This is perspective. This is what we see. Okay. So if we I'll use the train car as an example. This train car is already small because it's far away. So it's really not changing size. And it's really doesn't seem like it's moving farther away because it's kind of going down. So here's a ball, the same size as this one that's 6 feet away. They're the same size, but I got the camera right here. So this is provable, testable. This is the train car going away. But what happens if I lift this camera up like 7 feet in the air, bringing it no closer to this ball? Watch what happens. When I go up, and just flip it upside down for what the sun really does. Yeah. This is what happens. The balls become about the same size. And if I rolled this ball down the track, it's going to stay the same size. It's really not going to change very much.
Interesting.
And that's how perspective works. And, people are like, well, that's not what I see. It is what you're seeing. When the sun goes away, we're not falling over backwards over. You believe when you're watching the sun that you're falling over backwards and the sun is staying still faster than the speed of sound while you're whizzing 10 times the speed of that hypersonic sled.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I've seen how they were able to pull ships up that looked like they were going over the curvature of the earth in the ocean, and they were to bring them up with a telescope again. So
no boat. There it is.
No boat. I don't see it. I don't see it.
There it is. There it is. It's the angular resolution limits of your eyes. It's these smaller waves in the foreground are bigger than the boat's perspective getting smaller. Watch the boat go away. It'll disappear. Bottom part of the boat's missing. It's up to the deck. It's going to go up to the window.
And they would say that was the curve.
They'd say that's the curve, but Dave, you wouldn't be able to zoom it back in if that was the curve.
You're right. If that was the curve, you wouldn't be able to pull it up on a telescope.
Yeah. And people say, the Globers say, that's because, the light's refracting over. No, it's right there. Like if I went around this hallway, you stayed right here, and I went around that corner, and I gave you the most powerful telescope in the world. Could you zoom in on me?
No,
because you have this physical horizon right here. flip that over, pretend that's the Earth, I'm hiding behind a physical horizon. No amount of zoom will bring me back in. I've gone out and tested, Dave, when I heard about this, after kicking and screaming, I wasn't going to watch anything. I went out and bought $1,000 camera tripod, went down to the beach. I zoomed in on a buoy that was 11 miles away. I rounded down, giving the globe the advantage, and said, all right, it's 10 miles. There should be 66 feet of curvature. Now, some stupid debunking sites, they say, oh, no, you have to share the split between the object and the person. So it's only half that. That's not true, but I'll give it to them. Doesn't matter. The buoy's 10 feet tall. I shouldn't be able to see it. It should be behind 33 or 66 feet of curvature. Not only could I see the buoy, I could see the water surface for dozens of miles beyond the buoy. Dozens.
What's your views on and I know we've had prior shows before. We've done a few shows. Yeah. So I've asked a lot of questions with you, but I what's your views on extraterrestrials? I know they're going to be planning this fake alien invasion soon. We know it's coming. They're prepping us for it already on the mainstream media. They're talking about it, UFOs, this and that. So what's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, let me
are
give
they interdimensional beings? Are they?
I have a lot of thoughts on it. So, but let's just start with the simplest. Just use your common sense. I gave you that analogy of you're traveling a mile a second, and in 31,000 years, you're 1/25th the way to the closest star. Forget the other hundreds of billions out there. The distances are ridiculous. So you have to believe that an extraterrestrial is coming from those distant, impossible distances, coming here and crashing in Roswell. Or perhaps, maybe they're coming, again, remember, they always tell us, from the extra terra, in the outer space. Why are all of the largest telescopes in the world, besides being owned by the Vatican, why are they all in the southern lands and not looking up? They're looking out. They're looking away from the center into the outer space. So do I think that there's other intelligent beings out there? Hell yeah. And they probably speak English, okay? Because you got to look up, there's a book called The Iron Republic. It's a story about a senator that he had retired and took a boat to Antarctica and found an opening, and ended up, he went through like one of these openings and got lost out at sea. And then he found this other land. A boat came out and they're like, hey, this is the Iron Republic. Where are you from? They're like, we're from America. Where's the Iron Republic? He goes, well, we're on the other side of Antarctica, equal the distance that the United States.
This is documented.
This is a book from a bunch of articles in Florida Magazine in the late 1800s, early 1900s. And they talked about electric cars and flat screens and this whole advanced society out there. And the book, you can listen to it. It's on YouTube. John the Morgile read it on his channel. Just search The Iron Republic, Flat Earth. It should come up. And it's a great book also. And then you got to make up your own mind. Here's the thing, Dave, because of this stupid Antarctic treaty, we're not allowed to go beyond 60 degrees south. 60? Yeah, 60 degrees south. It's off limits, right? During the time in the 1950s where we're all at war, fighting over resources, Admiral Byrd flies out over Antarctica and goes, there's land beyond the pole. That's a problem on a ball. That is bigger than the United States, filled with resources that no human has ever stepped eyes upon. And then you go, okay, Antarctic Treaty, we have to protect the penguins. We can't let anyone drop a cigarette butt on the ice. But go ahead, deforest the Amazon. That's fine. Do all this other crap. And then a dozen or so nations signed on. Now they've all signed on. You can't question this treaty until the year 2041. That alone right there, I didn't know that. You question it. No treaty has lasted the test of time. None of them. Every treaty is broken. Not this one. And then when it gets closer, if we haven't woken up and taken our world back, they'll kick it down the road another 60 years. Okay, Dave, this is the most important topic of our time, because I'm going to a Flat Earth Festival conference in South Carolina in October. I'm driving from Connecticut. I'd love to fly, but that's not going to happen. And there'll be 400, 500, 600 flat earthers there. It's amazing. Every time you turn around, a new best friend is right behind you. It's every single person there from every walk of life are awesome people. It's because when you see the creation and you understand your importance, not that I was a bad guy before, I wasn't. I'm a better person now. I really am. You know, when somebody finds the creator and has the proper relationship, they become a better person. Dave, you're a good person. You have a good relationship with your creator. This is important, right? The elite don't want us in a situation where we can deny creation.
Yeah, they want to cut that, they want to cut that power from us, cut that umbilical cord, whatever,
Yeah.
from we're connected. And
Yeah.
it's that's what they're trying to do, is take away the power we possess. And it's through lies and deceit. I know that.
Yeah.
I know that.
And here's the other thing. Flat earthers know that we don't know a lot of things. There's so much we don't know. Globers think they learned it all in school, and
Yeah,
they know
that's
nothing.
yeah.
They know
First
nothing.
mistake right there. And that's the deadly mistake.
Yeah.
Everything they quote, they learned from school, the indoctrination camps.
It's all of these Rockefeller textbooks. You know what? Schools, they keep schools on a really tight budget. Literally, they've got to sell brownies and cookies to pay for supplies. Well, the Rockefellers make the textbooks, and then they sell them for less than they cost to make. So no other book company, no other person can come out and say, hey, we've got books for the school. The school's,
Right.
oh, your books are 4 times the price. Like, we can't get those. And they literally control the information. They want you going to school. They want you going to college. They want you going, the big corporations, they won't hire you unless you have a degree. They want you in debt. They want you in servitude. They want you in this slave system using their fake money. We need to get away from it. We need to go into privacy crypto coins. We need to stop dealing in their currency. We need to realize where we are, who we are, and the power of our minds. Dave, I had a friend just the other day. He said, he was like, oh, I'm really fed up with my job. I really don't want to do this anymore. I want to do something else, right? And then he just kept going on doing his job. Well, all of a sudden, his job, the people above him started just giving him more and more crap, making it harder and harder for him. And I'm like, the universe is trying to help you with your wish. You just wish this.
Right.
And now you just brought this on yourself. So people don't realize, when you think something, whether really good and you're lined up with it, when you're in alignment with it, it comes to you. The universe is conspiring, the conspiracy, to give the true man everything he's thinking, good or bad, because there is no good or bad. There is no good or bad. There is.
It's kind of, I was going to say, I just disagree with that, obviously.
I mean, there's stuff that we don't like and so whatever, but
can you show the audience, show the audience what you've told me before on my show, and I think this is pretty compelling, is the flight paths or the flight routes?
Yeah. So NASA is in charge of GPS. NASA is in charge of flight routes. NASA is in charge of radar. And we know, when you look into NASA, I can show you that they're lying about everything. They're using that to control everything. So my favorite one is the trip from Santiago, Chile to, if I can find it, Santiago, Chile to Australia, which on a globe is just across the bottom of the earth. Right across Antarctica would be the shortest trip, but on a flat earth, it should just go right across, right? Mm-hmm. And if you look at the globe, boom, that's it. But Dave, we can't disturb the penguins, so we have to fly around. Still, that's the shortest route. Okay, this is the route that they take. Why would they go all the way up over the equator, all the way across and down? And check this out. To go to Western Australia, they go all the way up here to the East Coast, across the United States, over to China, and then down to Singapore and over here. Why would they do that when they could just cut across the bottom real quick?
Agreed.
And the reason is because this is the real trip. Remember that path I just told you to Western Australia, where you go up across the United States, China, Singapore, Western Australia. It's a straight line. Airplanes fly straight and level over the Earth plane. Okay. And southern flight routes prove the Earth is not a globe, because there's no way that they would do that. And here's what happens. Sometimes there's an emergency landing. Something happens. Taiwan to LA. This is where everyone on their seat backs saw this line. This is what the flight tracking software would show. Right about here, there was an emergency. Someone's having a baby or a heart attack or something, and they needed to land. They call control, and control sends them to where? To Hawaii? That would make sense. To LA? That makes second sense. Nope. They sent them all the way out of the way, thousands of miles up to Alaska. Why did they do that? Because the real route is here. Taiwan, emergency, Alaska.
Mm.
They weren't. Hawaii is all the way out here.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's a book called 16 Emergency Landings that this guy, Flat Earth Banjo is his YouTube channel, Flat Earth Banjo USA in Brazil, something like that. Worst name ever, worse than the name of my app. And he documented 16 landings where every time they land, he's going from news stories and following flight data, gets all the info, shows the map. They land like way out of the way, but on every single one of them, if you go to Flat Earth map, you take the origin and the destination, you draw a straight line, they landed right on that friggin' line. Or right.
I'm curious, do you have any pilots that have contacted you or come forward?
Dave, we have so many pilots, we can't even keep track of them anymore. Most of the pilots are saying that almost all the big pilots, they know. The Qantas pilots told us that they talk about it openly in their lounges, but they can't talk about it anywhere else because they will lose their jobs. We interviewed a KLM pilot, a woman, on the show Globebusters, which is on Sunday afternoons and Wednesday evenings. And she told us everything, just literally Earth is flat, how it works, the controls that they use, how the gyros work, was just getting into everything. Next day, grounded, fired.
Unbelievable.
Just for talking about this stuff. Dave,
so am I going to get bombed on FluffTube if I put this up?
No, you put this on YouTube and you'll get some trolls who'll go on there and go, Dave's a scammer. He's just selling his app. No, my app is the way that you find this information. If you Google Flat Earth, you might as well just get a banner that says I'm a Glober, because you're going to get nonsense. It's just like, the censorship is ridiculous. But for some reason, Dave, they let us keep our Flat Earth videos up so far. They haven't taken them down. They did take down one of our biggest channels, ODD TV, amazing documentary guy. And he just got it back up. It just came back up yesterday. So he complained and somehow got it back. But my app, it's called the Flat Earth, Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app. It's the highest rated app in the Google Play Store and in the Apple iOS store. It will show you it'll answer every question you have. And the challenge I give people is every day there's a featured video that just pops up on the app. It's a beautiful thing. And I say, watch it for 2 weeks. And if you think their Earth is a globe, send me one proof and you win 3 Bitcoins. But before you do, you have to hit the frequently asked questions. Up comes playlists, all the questions you're going to ask. There's 21 questions. You're going to say, what about sunsets over the ocean? Where does the sun go? What about seasons? What about southern flights?
A big one people ask is meteors, asteroids.
Yeah.
Comets. What are those?
Yeah, so they're all big lies. I mean, every day there's a different comet or another.
I've seen
asteroid.
them. I've seen shooting stars. I've seen that stuff.
A light in the sky, Dave. It's an electrical thing that's happening.
Okay.
You're seeing.
I believe we live in an electrical universe, but you're saying the shooting stars I've seen.
Dave. So the story of shooting stars are that we're going through the path that a comet had formerly gone through, right?
Mm-hmm.
So remember this. So if let's say that, the path the comet went through is like over here, right? We go through it once. Next year, we're 4.4 billion miles from there was. Why do the meteor showers that happen in August happen on the same week in August every year? That's ridiculous. It's an electrical phenomena that's happening. The asteroids that we see hitting the ground, we don't see them. It's always in northern Russia, Siberia, somewhere, and we see it from a dash cam. That's probably just a weapon that they shot out of the sky and like, let's get some footage, make people feel.
But they have found rocks. They have found.
They're lying about everything. If you look at the crater, like the one in Arizona, it's perfectly circular. It is a bubble that came up through the earth when the earth became liquid, right? The Grand Canyon is a lie. It was created in probably minutes, maybe hours. Okay. There's off limits areas in the Grand Canyon where there's Egyptian stuff down there.
Absolutely. Okay? I've researched that. That's true.
Yeah.
That is true.
Dave, there's so much. Let me just show you just a couple resources in the app. If you go, is that showing okay for you?
Yeah.
So just real quick, the app, it shows how the sky is a perfect clock. The sun keeps track of the hours and the days. The moon keeps track of the weeks and the months, right? The sun will lap the moon every 28 days. It shows you what zodiac the sun is in. Right now, it's moving from Cancer into Leo because Cancer is out because it laps the sun once a year. Everything goes in the same direction. Oh, look, there's a video with me on it today. Featured video today. You click that. If you miss a video, just go to the archive. If you have a question, you hit the question mark and up come, hey, what about eclipses? What about seasons? What about ships over the horizon? If you click, what about ships over the horizon? Up comes a playlist of videos that YouTube will not serve you. They don't want you seeing these videos because it'll make you
They're
start
on
questioning.
YouTube, right?
They're still on YouTube, yeah. But I have
So
them all backed
they
up.
haven't taken them down?
What's that? No, but if you search for one of these, even by name, it won't show up.
That's
like it'll be like on the 10th page. Yeah. So all of these videos are here. And here's the thing. People are like, oh, he's just selling the app. Don't buy the app. It's $2.99. Just go read the reviews, because the reviews will turn you into a flat earther. But talking about our history, bottom right, mud floods in Tartaria. Have you looked into that yet?
No.
Mud floods in Tartaria, Dave. There was an advanced civilization here in the 1800s. We're not at the pinnacle of civilization, of intelligence, civilized intelligence. We are one step into idiocracy at this point. We're not one step away. We're one step into it. We're already in the movie. But transcontinental railroads were excavated. They weren't built. Dave, did you know underneath our Capitol building, there's another building?
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
But I believe it. I believe it. I know there's underground. What is your thoughts on the underground cities and deep underground military bases?
Dave, there's tons of stuff underground. The deepest hole ever dug is 7.5 miles. So I don't know what's below that. Maybe there's another realm. Maybe it's a hellish realm. Okay. I don't know. But there's definitely, lots of stuff going on underground. And, they do that thing with the, where you're underground, you can kind of do anything. You get away with anything because you're underground and no one's ever going to see
all the secrecy and deceit lie there.
So tons of stuff on here, Dave. This is how you learn about flat earth. If it was somebody else's app, I'd be pushing it just as hard, because it is the way to find out about find out this information, which is being hidden from us. And how much longer are we going to, even have access to this? This whole thing could stop before the end of this podcast. You better air this pretty soon so it goes up before they take the
I'm going to put this up. I'm going to put this up for, for about half a day to take it down. Are you okay with that?
Put it up. You won't get any issues with it. Whatever you got to do.
Yeah, but they'll start shadow banning and doing fucked up shit to my channel.
Okay. If you put it up for a little while, that would be.
I will. I'm going to put it up and leave it up for a while and then take it down. Does that make you happy?
That's fine. that would make me happy. Listen, Dave, you're doing your part.
I am, but I gotta keep. I'm trying to navigate through this matrix of bullshit with staying relevant.
Dave, I totally hear you. You're doing a great job. The other day, you went I'm like, how the heck is he saying? You were saying some stuff. I was like, his channel's going to be gone before I get there.
I know, man. Which video was that? Maybe I should take it down.
I don't. It was a couple days ago. You were on fire. Hey, Dave. Here's the other thing. This is tough. Doing what you do every day, and you say it like this drains on you. You need a couple days off. You do need to take care of yourself. I take the weekends off. Yeah. Right. Although last weekend my girl was away, I ended up doing 3 shows over the weekend. I'm shot. Me too. But you need to take care of yourself, and also remember, this is good. You're doing good things, so let it lift you up. Don't let it weigh you down. I mean, you are helping. You are making a difference. There's so many people. Like, I have local friends here, and they're like, hey, they don't talk about flat Earth, but they're like, hey, I saw you on Dave Rodriguez. Now they're all in. Now we're all talking. You're bringing people together with what you're doing. So keep doing it and let it lift you up.
Thank you so much, man. That means a lot to me, dude. Yeah, Dave, but it's tiring. I mean, this is kicking my ass. I'll be honest.
But Dave, don't try not to say that. Try to say, hey, this takes a lot of energy, but it's good. It's like a good workout. This is what you train for with your boxing. Okay.
Yeah.
You train for this right now.
I can't wait to hit the gym today.
Okay. Well, good. So this is good. Let these things lift you up. Don't let them drag you down.
All right. Thank you. I appreciate you, man. I'm going to air this. I'm going to premiere it tonight at about, let's do 8:00.
8 p.m. Mountain time.
Yep. I'll put it up at 8.
10 p.m. my time.
You want me to go earlier?
No, that's whatever you want to do. Whatever works. Yeah.
I'll do 7.
7 Mountain. That'd be awesome. I will send a bunch of people. I'll do a push notification on the app. How's that? Okay. And that way you'll get 150,000 people getting a message that you have on the video going up.
Let's do it.
All right. And thanks for having me on, everybody. If you still think flat Earth is dumb, just look into it. And just look at the app. Go to my channel, DITRH. I got lots of short videos there. You can handle a 2-minute video, a 3-minute video, a 5-minute video. That's like a long one for me. And then just start watching. I tell people, just watch 1 video a day. Watch the featured video every day while you're having your breakfast. And within 2 weeks, you will lose the respect of your family and friends and your spouse, because you'll be a flat earther.
All right, Dave. Thanks,
all right, man. Thanks.
God
you can find me at theflatearthpodcast.com or just flatearthdave.com. All
Got
right,
it.
flatearthdave.com.
Later.
See you, man. Thanks.
The Flat Earth Sun and Moon Clock App. A dynamic new app to teach family and friends about where they actually live. The sky is a perfect clock. The sun measures the hours and days. The moon measures the weeks and months. The star constellations measure the seasons and years. 12/12 or 24-hour clock face. Or go hands-free. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock App with new added features. World Time. See what time it is all around the flat Earth. A true Earth compass that shows true navigation across and around the flat Earth plane. Weather. Tap for detailed local weather information. Know what phase and where the moon is at all times. Watch the sun travel between the tropics for the seasons. Select an amazing background. Add your own or have the app change it to a new one automatically every time you use the app. Add a countdown to your next big date. Learn the truth about our world with the featured video of the day. Web button for additional flat Earth related features, from the mythical curve calculator all the way to Tartaria. While talking to friends, easily pull up pictures that expose the globe lie and shine light on the flat Earth truth. Video playlists in different languages. See the real trade winds circling the flat Earth. And clean screen features. Simply click off the items you don't wish to see. The Flat Earth Sun, Moon, and Zodiac Clock app is the best tool to show your friends and strangers how our flat Earth actually works.